Hello and welcome back to the channel. Well, today I keep changing my mind. I was gonna do one thing and then something else comes up and then get distracted on something else, and finally I'm like, you know what? It's, according to the bike, 84 degrees out right now and the day's up and I got nothing else going on, so I'm gonna go check out another pond. Phoenix has like 30 different little local ponds in it, you know, if you don't even count all the canals that you can fish in and things like that. So granted, some are 20 minutes away and some are an hour away because they're across town in Phoenix. Phoenix is a pretty big conglomerate of a bunch of little cities. So I unfortunately chose to try to do this little event in the morning when schools are just starting to get kids in session. So this was probably not a bright idea of this direction. We'll see how long it takes. But yeah, how many times have you decided, yeah, I'm gonna do one thing, then you get up in the morning like, yeah, since I'm doing it solo, I don't really have concrete plans for this object. I don't have any obligations to meet somebody somewhere. So you decided, let's just change these plans. So it's kind of what I was doing this morning. Holding off doing something and then like, you know what, I just need to get out of the house. So that's what you end up doing. Just, you know, step out, get going. And this is where we are. Theoretically, I should get to my destination in 17 minutes. I don't exactly have high hopes for that. Jeez. I can smell people's colognes from here. Holy smokes. But yeah, how often do you guys decide, like, oh, I'm going to do one plan, and then you wake up and something just changes everything in your day? Because I feel like my days off hit that a lot. I'm not sure why, but they do. Alright, traffic. Yeah, this was definitely the wrong route to take. But this is where I am, so this is where I'm going. Hopefully once I pass this last intersection, it'll open up and then I just deal with all the morning traffic to work. So yeah, I decided I'm going to go do a little fishing trip. I'll have the other camera with me too. Maybe set up the tripod and see what that lake is like. Unless when I get there it's, you know, not a location I want to work with. But we'll see if I ever make it there. So it's interesting though, hello car. I was talking to the missus and she made a suggestion if I wanted to do a project bike, why not do something like an R3 that's inexpensive to get into and theoretically inexpensive to repair. Well, that's one idea. My question is, then what would I do with it afterwards? I guess one thought is if I did get an R3 to play with, I could try to see what performance upgrades you could do. And she's debating on doing track, hopefully. And then a modified bike could be her track bike, and I could just leave it as a basic crazy bike. We'll see. It's still things in the future. Things to think about. Come on, light. Oh, cars. No wonder this light's always so backed up. Or pedestrian trying to walk and you're in the middle of the road, dude. Ugh. The funny part about that is that the drop-off area, or is that the high school parking area? But either way, we escaped, so let's get moving. Oh, get some cool breeze going. So yeah, it was like a completely different idea though. Granted, she is a sport bike person. I mean, granted, the Duke is a very sport naked bike. But that's another one of her motorcycles. Her bikes have always been some sort of sport bike design because she likes the fairings and the feeling of the fairings. And I honestly didn't think about a sport bike initially because I didn't know if I wanted to deal with all the fairings to take them off and store them and try to keep them safe. But it is another one of those scenarios of like, well, what's the cost of entry to play with it? But then the funnier part is I was just out of curiosity looking up things like Craigslist and the used market on like one of our local dealers, and either they don't have any R3s or the R3 is a year or two old and it's the same price as a brand new one. So like, well, if I did an R3, do I want to buy a brand new bike to tear it apart? Or do I just keep searching? I mean, it's not a today thing either way. Or do I wait, 6 months and try to find that potential project bike? The other idea is not one I've really thought about until now, was the going to one of those auctions where they have the salvage bikes. And the question is then is, can I get the bike up to the point that it's operational again? And I'd also have to look up the rules of like the tracks out here. Do they require, I mean, the bike of course has to be sound and operational, but does it have to be registered and insured? So like a bike, if I got fully operational again, but it had a salvage title on it and I didn't take it on the road and I only took it to a track day, would that be legal for the company or for the track? So that is one other interesting idea I had. But yeah, I mean, it was just kind of like, oh, that's an interesting thought, I could do that, but I've never looked into the auction system, because it, like how much then are you going to spend for it and then to get it and all those rules. And you can't exactly see it in person to see what it's, I mean, there's a lot of pictures typically, but how much damage does it truly have? But yeah, those are just random ideas coming across. Oh, so many choices. Alright, 11 minutes. Alright, so I did a little bit of a skip there. It's just super windy. I don't always like to talk over it, and I'm trying to focus with all this traffic dealing with right now, so figured I'd bear you guys the experience of that fun. Come on. But riding through all this fun with this helmet, it makes me realize that I do need to swap this helmet out. I keep hoping that Shoei will come out with a new version of this SR, but we'll still see. When I was at the store last, they did have an X15 that the guy recommended for a quiet helmet that he has. I didn't put it on, I actually did like it, the way it felt. It's interesting because I tried on my wife's, what was it, the 1200 she had for the Shoei originally. And I did not like the way that one felt at all, which is why I went with this SR. And yeah, the X15, even though it's more of an aggressive helmet, it actually fit really well. So maybe in the next month or two, if Shoei doesn't come out with a new SR version, maybe I'll pick up that X15. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. The other ironic thing is that, speaking of all this maintenance on vehicles and modifications, I think I'm within 1,000 miles of this bike getting its second maintenance. It has its first official, outside of its initial maintenance setup, so it's almost at 10,000 miles. It's just about 9, I think, right now, or just under. But with that also, since I do all highway riding, my tires are getting really flat spotted on them. So I've been debating on what tires to get for this bike. And I was looking at I think the Michelin Road 6s. That was a potential new tire to put on this, because mostly almost all I do is take this thing to work and back, and these types of trips, which is all highway and roads, I'm not doing it justice by going off-road anyway, and I'm not sure that this 1200 would be the best beginner bike for off-road experience. Call me crazy maybe on that, but yeah. So I'm thinking I might do that. If you guys have had one of these bikes or an adventure bike and tried those Road 6s, let me know if they're good on that. But yeah, so that's another thing we need to do now is I need to bring this one in for service, or get it set up for service, order tires, and continue with my adventures, or start with them depending on how you want to look at it. Like these little fishing ponds that I can jump to right now. I mean, the nice thing about doing these is also it's like, as I said before, I think like my northern lakes are about a 2-hour ride too. So to get up to them is not super fast. Kia, you just keep bouncing back and forth. You just don't know where you want to be, do you? So this gives me an opportunity to test all my gear that I have, how I pack it on the bike, what things I think I'm missing or need. Like I realized the last time I went out, I was like, you know what? A simple hand towel would be very handy to have. So I went to like Walmart's clearance rack and found $1 hand towels, and that works. But yeah, it's just simple things like that. You're just like, oh yeah, that comes in handy. Let me just have one of those now. Right. Well, I guess it's this whole section here. So this is Pioneer Park, I guess. Here's the pond I'm looking at. No stocking and crowned or magnetic fishing. No. A few people here. So with that, thanks for coming along. You guys be safe. Have fun. Until next time.